thanks for having me here, everyone. I don't have any magic tricks for you, but I am excited to talk to you about something that I've worked on for about the last 2 years here locally in West Michigan. So my name is Joe Thiry. I work at West Michigan Works. We are the workforce development agency for the state of Michigan, and we cover our local region here in West Michigan. Part of our big initiatives is creating industry councils in high demand occupations. I work specifically for a group called West Michigan Tech Talent. Our goal is to expand and enhance IT talent for our employers in the area and be able to connect that to the community. So today I want to talk to you about connections, how really connections made a huge impact on our work, and how that can really accelerate the timeline of being successful in your job. So connections are part of my job on a daily basis. Making new connections with employers, with job seekers, with the community, with training providers, building those connections, developing relationships, and trying to expand the talent base in West Michigan. So why is technology and why is tech talent so important? So everyone probably has their iPhone with them. Technology consumes your life in some way. So we're all consumers of technology in some sort of way, and we're trying to shift that mindset from being a consumer to being a creator of technology. How do we create those type of things so that we can have these high wage occupations? We can be the next, hopefully, Silicon Valley of the Midwest. So that's something that we are working with every day. So I'd like to throw out a couple stats at you of why it's so important that we really push tech talent in our region. So first is the growth rate of technology jobs. So across West Michigan, jobs are growing at about 7%, which is really great. We're doing really well in that. In technology alone, we're growing at about an average of 20 to 24% year over year. Now, as you can probably tell, that's about triple the average job growth. So although it's not a huge industry at this point, the growth is there. We need more people. Statewide, as Michigan, we have over 15,000 jobs available in information technology and computing, but yet we only have 1,700 graduates per year to fill those jobs. There's a huge gap in that. Additionally, average wages for technology and computing jobs averages around $80,000 compared to about $47,000 for average wages across the state. So there's obviously a huge need, a huge opportunity for high wage positions, and especially here in West Michigan. So you don't have to go out to one of the coasts to find jobs in IT and technology. You can find that locally here. So that was kind of driving the need for us to be able to create a group comprised of employers, training providers, workforce development, to address some of those needs and be able to connect our community to these high wage positions. We created West Michigan Tech Talent for this reason exactly. So I'm going to talk today about how connections made a difference in what we did, it was born from the need for connections, how we built it using existing connections, and some of the impact and success we've had due to the new connections that have been made. So talk about how West Michigan Tech Talent was born. Really, it was a conversation between myself, 3 or 4 employers, a couple of IT training providers, saying, what are we doing as a whole, as a community, to expand the amount of talent we have in the area to fill these high wage, high growth, high in demand positions? And we really weren't doing much. There was different groups kind of siloed here and there. There was not really a connection between what we were doing. Similar groups were doing the same thing in different places, and we weren't making those connections well enough. We didn't have that single place for people to go. Additionally, employers were getting requests. So one group needs volunteers for this, one group needs funding and sponsorship for that. We were getting requests on an intermittent basis. There wasn't one place that people could go to make that connection. Thus, we kind of came up with this idea of having this clearinghouse called West Michigan Tech Talent to be able to connect our community with our tech employers. So we said, okay, how are we going to build this thing? It's not easy to build a network which gets a lot done. This is a best practice that we're trying to establish across the state. We didn't have any guidelines. We didn't have a template of what to work off of. We were kind of building this from scratch. So we thought, what better way than to find someone who has those existing connections? And we got lucky. We found an ex-CIO from the area, Chief Information Officer, who had just retired and was doing some collaboration work, and he was willing and believed in the cause that this was a needed thing in our community, and he did a lot of the legwork along with our group to recruit people into our group and to recruit IT leaders who had access to resources, access to knowledge about the industry, and within 6 months we had officially a board of directors set up, 15 C-level leaders in technology and IT training providers in our region. I bring this up and say it's happened in 6 months where other regions have tried to put this together, and within a year or two, nothing has come together and it's kind of fizzled away. So to be able to do that in 6 months was really great, all built because of the connections that were already made over the course of years in the community. So not only in 6 months did we have this board of directors set up, but within a year of having our initial conversations, we had a kickoff party, had it at Founders, who doesn't love beer, let's get everyone in, where we had over 75 industry professionals come to our event, sign up for our newsletters, get involved with some of our initial projects, and from there, within a few months after that, our mailing list, our member list has expanded to about 200 people from 75 local organizations. So within a year of having conversations, we went from 3 people in a room to having over 200 industry professionals working together to expand talent in West Michigan. So this is something that we don't see very often and couldn't have been done without these existing connections that had been made. So from our group, now that we had built this group from connections, we saw new connections being made on a monthly basis through some of the projects that we've done. So I'd like to talk to you for just a minute about some of the impact that we have had in the last year, some of the highlights that we've made. So over the last year, since our launch, we were able to build these new connections to have several different projects that have impacted the community. The first one was our Hour of Code initiative. So if you don't know what the Hour of Code is, it's a nationwide event for pretty much anyone but focused on K through 12 students, where they can go online through code.org, do coding tutorials, so this is kind of leading into some sort of software development or developer role, building systems for organizations, for software, for doing web development, building websites, kind of learning those fundamentals, because a lot of these skills are things that people have to learn early in life so they don't self-select out of this type of career path. So we built a program around the Hour of Code where we had industry professionals through our network go into classrooms, lead a coding tutorial, a hands-on activity, talk about their work, and then also take them through this online tutorial. So in our first year, we covered 45 classrooms in West Michigan, reached 1,100 students, and 100% of the classrooms and mentors say they would participate again. We're looking forward to our next event this year, as we're looking to double that amount. And bringing up connections as the theme of today, it's always cool to see a real-world example of how connections can build that. And stemming off of this event, we also were able to see the connections that we made, helping us get connected with a new group that was in town training teachers on how to teach computer science in their classrooms. We were able to support them with some grant money. We were able to support them when they applied for another grant. And 200 teachers this summer were trained on how to teach computer science in their classrooms, which will impact over 6,000 Michigan students next year and try to help fill that talent gap. Another project that I'll bring up is a video that we made in response to a few of our members who were newly connected, finding that through conversations, we really have a need in West Michigan to diversify our tech industry. So we want to make sure these high-paying, high-growth jobs are very inclusive, available for everyone. Over 50% of the population in West Michigan is women, yet less than 1 in 4 jobs in computing is held by females. This is a problem. We know that having a more diverse team, especially in technology, brings better results, better outcomes for clients, and just better projects in general. So within 3 months, with these new connections, we were able to fundraise, recruit speakers, secure a production company, and create a video encouraging and hopefully inspiring women to jump into IT roles, and also build a connection for where they could find local resources to help them go through that. So I'd like to show you the video today as a culmination of some of those work, some of those connections that we've made, and how it can really make an impact in our community.